Hello everybody, thank you for joining me here today in my kitchen. I've had so many requests to come in for me to make one of my famous omelets that I love to do in the mornings, and especially this time of the year when it's spring, you got a lot of good fresh vegetables to work with, so it makes it pretty good. You see our instruments of torture that we have here today, of course the normal stuff. We've got some fresh vegetables, and I like to use, of course, peppers fresh out of the garden, tomatoes fresh out of the garden, and cheese fresh out of the garden. Grow my own cheese. Have you ever seen a cheese plant? We're going to start out, first of all, we're going to hook us up with a little bit of olive oil on the bottom, maybe a little bit more. You can't have too much. Now, you can use olive oil, or you can use, of course, butter. Either one is equally destructive to the body, and I think that will be good either way. We're going to use, today I do either a 2 or 3 or sometimes a 4 egg omelet. We'll start out by kind of breaking our eggs and getting them ready to be massacred here into this. Let's do just a nice little whip motion on that to get those nice and mixed. Now, some people add a little bit of cream, some people add a little bit of milk. I'm going to do a little bit of regular milk in here to soften the egg just a bit, not too awful much, just a little dark. The secret to it though is lots of cheese, of course. Get that olive oil a little bit going. Now, I've already pre-chopped some onions, so we'll have these to go in also for our omelet, and since we're going to only do one at this point, we won't use too many onions. Good fresh onions this time of the year is really good too. Now we'll have a little bit of salt in to there and on our onions to bring out basic flavor is what we're doing. Now, here comes the really beautiful part about this, and we have already pre-washed this, so you'll kind of know what's going on. Now, I have a couple of different varieties of peppers. I have some that almost like catch fire when you put them in the pan or you open the seeds up. I love a little bit of pepper in mine, to a little bit of the saucier side of life. And I wish you could smell through this. It really is going to be delicious when I finish it. Now I'm going to do a little touch of a jalapeno. These are, I picked these as baby jalapenos. They have a very nice tender taste to them, and I think very refreshing. Now as that heats up, what we're going to do is we're kind of preparing our hot side of this. Don't you love this tray? This tray is one a good friend of mine invented, called the Catch It tray, and it works pretty good. I'm going to get another fresh. Let me wash this off quickly. Developed and invented this Catch It tray, and it was made to just do just exactly what I am doing here with it, in that you can do your vegetables, you can do all of this pre-style, and the waste and everything goes right into the tray, and then we take off this top surface, of course, when we finish. Now, okay, now that'll be enough. We'll set these aside. We're going to put tomatoes on that. Now we'll let this start to simmer a little bit. Looking good, looking very good. Omelets give, in the mornings, I like a nice big breakfast. A lot of people do not like that much breakfast, but I think it's the old adage, it's the most important meal of the day. I totally agree. I'm going to stir it just a little bit. Now there's also a way, if you wanted to really add a little spice to this, you can always kick it up a notch. And in the morning is the time to do this, kind of with a little RO slaw. And the RO slaw goes good with everything. I usually just eat it in a bowl, in a spoon, but it's good on everything. It's good on omelets, it's good on hamburgers, it's good on hot dogs, whatever. Okay, you can see that really starting to work. It's going to look nice. It's going to taste absolutely wonderful. Now, let's do this. Let's grind us a little black pepper up in there. We got that going. Now, people have said, well, Fred, I noticed how trim you look all the time, and you know how athletic you are at 217 years old. Well, here's the secret to it. You gotta eat these omelets, you know, and you gotta take some RO slaw. Oh, those peppers are, woo, starting to get a little bit of kick out here on me. Yes. I grew some peppers last year that you had to wear a mask before you could really cook them. All right, now we're getting this down to where it's looking kind of rough and raunchy. Oh yeah, smelling good too. Now we're gonna take our egg. Probably should have done a 3 egg on this one rather than 2, because I've got a lot of good peppers in there. Now, here comes the secret to move this over to the sink so we can stay ahead of the game. Now you can get a good look at, I'm gonna let this sit for a bit. Just let it cook. Let it get kind of solid more on one side than just trying to turn it over like you do scrambled eggs. We don't want to scramble them. We want this thing to harden up a little bit on one side so we can make a nice platform for our omelet. You see it's starting to slide around a little bit. Excuse me, a little bit. There we go. Get some of those air bubbles out of it. Let it flatten down some. Now, very, very simple. What I want to do, I'm not worried about how it looks at this point, because I'm going to be cooking it both sides anyway, right? So it's nice and loose and it's ready to slide. So what I'm going to do is just kind of ease under it and flip it over. Oh, we made a little bit of a mess, but that's okay. That the cleaners will get it. Now, here's where we are, excuse me, at the critical stage. Woo, the peppers are going to be good, going to be good. Now, I take my cheese at this point, and I want to put this, see, I haven't put the cheese and the eggs up to this point, because I want to fold that over, just like that. And I know you can't smell it, but oh boy, that smells good. Okay, and here comes our plate. Now, as we plate this, you'll see the aroma of this coming off in the steam version of it. Woo! To move that over out of the way. Okay, and then that's our basic cooking and where we are with the omelet. Now, I'm going to take a few of these tomato slices and I'm going to place them on the side here. I can always use another little bit of salsa. You know, there's never too much salsa on there. That gets it there. And let's finish it off with just a touch of salt on those tomatoes. Now, to kind of give it the ultimate roundup, just a touch more of cheese on the top. There it is. Now, you can always add a little bit of fruit in there other than the tomatoes if you like, but that's the Hoffman breakfast omelet, served here, not daily, but you know, every day or so, keeping you trim, slim, healthy. But you may, if you're using my kinds of peppers on here, you may have to wear a mask to to get through it. Thanks for joining me here today, and I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you're going to try one of these omelets and see. Is that gorgeous or what? Man, you can even put bacon chips in this too. It's good, and that's even more low-cal if you do it with bacon chips or maybe sausage with it too. Okay, we'll see you next time. Thank you.